at thezone1059.com.
All right, here we go. What in the world is this? What is this? Is this a radio show? Is this live? Is this thing on? Hey, welcome in here on this Monday into the Bureau, the Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance Studio, Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team. They are your home team. Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance all across the great state of Mississippi. Hometown Heroes, that's your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. Don't forget to ask them about the new Farm Bureau Insurance Health Plan powered by Blue Cross. Look, after a week of vacation, the show is back. And this is the part of the show where I give myself a round of applause for coming back from vacation, which is sort of expected, right? Yeah. Hey, and look, also, let me say this. Let me give you another heads up, like what this means. This show here today on this Monday, let me show you what this means. It means that we're here for the stretch run. Summer is effectively over, at least as far as this show is concerned. Vacation is behind it as far as this show is concerned. And starting today, it is a full-on march right into, then start jogging, then start sprinting right through football season, right on up to bowl season at the end of the year. Like, we're here for the duration. We get a round of applause for that too. That's right. Yeah, so we're here for a while. Hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoy the show because we're not going anywhere anytime soon. I'm here. Beaver is here. I can confirm. I got to talk to Beaver a minute ago. I told him that it was good to hear his voice after a week apart, and he was dubious as to whether or not I meant that. I do mean it. It's always good to get back and hear his voice. And I would really love to hear your voice as well. Now, there's several ways for you to be a part of the show. Several ways to do it. One, you can text me on the Country Pleasing text line. The number to text the show is 885-3776. That's a 601 number, 885-3776. Country Pleasing Sausage, hickory smoked since 1976 and made right here in the state of Mississippi in Florence, just down the road at Country Meat Packers. Another way to be a part of the show is to let me hear your voice on the Junction phone line. Where's the train? That's right. Here comes the train. Junction delis all across the state of Mississippi. And there's several people listening right now in their cars that whipped their head around and thought that a train that was actually coming. No, that's only a sound effect. Call me on the Junction phone. The number to call, 897-1059. That's a 601 number, 897-1059. You call me. That way I get to hear your voice. Everybody else gets to hear your voice too. And also, hey to you on the live stream. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, any of those three, and you're watching the live stream there, hey, it's live. See, waving to you live. See my hand waving, and type in your comment. And when you post your comment, it all comes into one nice, neat column right here where I can see it. And then I can see what you have to say, ask, comment, opinions. Otherwise, I'll click it, put it on the screen where everyone else. And then, it's like all of those, like a virtual, digital way to get together, to convene, it's like virtually grabbing a chair and pulling up to the table, plopping down. We'll pour you some hot coffee in your mug from High Point Roasters in New Albany, Mississippi, like I'm having here on the show today, and then we'll be off and running. So a couple things real quick, and then I'm coming to your text, J-Rock and Nick and everybody else. We are in SEC Media Days. How much do you care? Do you enjoy it? What entertainment do you get out of SEC Media Days? What part of it do you like and you don't like? It really changed over the years. It's fine. It's actually a really neat event, especially for television. I don't think it really fits radio. It didn't make a whole lot of sense from a radio perspective. But anyway, it's a neat event, and it's going on this week for whatever that's worth. And the countdown How many teams we count down? I can't remember. The countdown of 80 teams in 80 days. Continues today. And so, as I told you before, I went on vacation, we're going to make up ground. So starting today, we're going to catch up everything that we missed last week. So we're doing 4 teams on the countdown today. Today's team, which is number 47, we're 47 days away from September 5th. But we're doing 3 others, a couple from the weekend, 1 from last week. And as we go through this week, we'll have multiple teams get caught back up. All right. All right, so J-Rock on the Country Pleasing text line. Thanks for texting the show. You said, Matt, I saw you on Facebook picking that guitar. Says, of course, you were overshadowed by that beautiful voice. Great job. And thanks, J-Rock. I appreciate it very much. What he's talking about on vacation, we went up to the 3rd floor and Mary Liddy did some singing, and I accompanied a couple of her songs. We posted them on social media. And a couple of old favorite snippets. Yeah, and that's the only thing I was a little apprehensive, J-Rock, about being seen on there because I don't want any of the attention on that thing. But yeah, I played just well enough to accompany a few songs for her. And yeah, she did a great job. You know, I will tell you, it's really interesting to live with someone who can sing anything at any time beautifully, because then there's sometimes where she's just for fun, just singing, and I'll walk by and go, wow, good night. Wow. And then I go, can you do that again? She's like, Daddy, I didn't know you were in there listening. Yeah, it's neat to live with somebody who can really sing. Okay, Nick. The tradition lives on. He just sent me Nick, you sent me a text here with a picture to go with it. And you said the streak lives on, Matt, 20 years now. And what he sent me a picture of, Nick, you have gotten your response from the masters.com for your 2027 application for Masters badges to be able to go to the tournament at Augusta. Official Masters website. I can tell it's a screenshot on your phone. Masters tickets. There's the beauty shot. And then it says 2027 application update. Thank you for submitting your ticket application. Unfortunately, your entry was not selected this year. Then it goes on to say a full, Nick, think about how proper and how nice they are. They let you down easy. I've been through this before too, where you apply for the Masters badges, you don't get them. After they give you the news that you're not selected, then they give you a full 3-sentence paragraph to offer encouragement. We deeply appreciate your interest and support. As part of our commitment to bring fans closer to the tournament, we continue to explore new ways to elevate the presentation of the Masters through our broadcast, digital platforms, and other channels. We look forward to sharing how fans can follow along and celebrate the 91st Masters Tournament next April. With the exception, Nick, of you being there in person. But that's just the way it is. All right, so is that 20 years for you? Nick, are you being serious? That for 20 solid years you have applied and gotten rejected for 20 solid years? Man, one of these days you're going to get it, and we're going to celebrate somehow, some way. We're going to figure out a way to really celebrate with you. Hey, Hog Jowl. What's up? Good to hear from you on the Country Pleasing text line. You said, well, Matt, SEC Media Week kicks off and hope springs eternal as fans. Same with me. ESPN has the Hogs schedule ranked hardest among all of the group of 4 teams. He's an Arkansas fan. Combine that with 44 incoming transfers. Yeah, we talked about that a while back. Who the heck knows the outcome? With that said, you said, I really like what Silverfield is doing. He's changed everything, even the light bulbs on his first day there. I think KJ Jackson will surprise some folks. And you say, I'm pretty sure the defense will be better. I mean, it has to be. And then you say, I would think 5-7 or 6-6 would be considered a really solid year. Any thoughts? Yeah, I'm with you. And Hog Jow, recently we talked about Arkansas in our countdown of 80 teams in 80 days. We have a team coming up next who is on the countdown, who's coached by somebody that people in Mississippi are very familiar with. And I'll give you a thought on that Hogs schedule when we come back. Just getting started with you on this Monday in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Stick around. Back after this. Hey, y'all, let me tell you about a couple of things that you might want to take a look at. First up, there's a whole new series of football videos that I have begun on the YouTube channel this summer, and it's going to go all throughout the fall, all the way through football season this year. One is an early week upload called Football IQ, where I kind of talk through some concept ideas related to watching football as a fan. Later in the week, there's an upload series called Matt Explains, where I take one specific football term or concept and kind of break that X's and O's down for you, where again, you as a fan can watch it, learn it, and then watch football games differently and enjoy watching those. We just started a Saturday, Sunday, once a weekend live stream called Coffee with Matt. That'll take place probably on Sunday nights and every now and then a Saturday. Sports, that'll be fun too when we get into the season when there's games. And then the fourth thing I want to make you aware of, for viewers of the radio show, listeners to the radio show, if you like the Mississippi Outdoors podcast, I've started a new YouTube channel called Off the Air with Matt. And I'll put a link on the screen right here, but you can just look it up on YouTube, Off the Air with Matt Wyatt. And what that is sort of a weekly, once a week show behind the scenes of what it's like for someone who talks on the radio and does podcasts and does ball games and stuff. And it's what life off the air is like. And so got one of those shows up. Last week was the first week. This will be week 2. Kind of currently shooting behind the scenes for some of that stuff. So you may enjoy that too. Anyway, just wanted to give you a heads up. You've got Football IQ, concepts that you can learn as a fan to help you enjoy watching football more. Matt Explains, and there's a whole playlist for that. X's and O's, specific things. And again, you can learn it, helps you enjoy it more as a fan. The weekend live stream, Coffee with Matt, which will be on the YouTube channel going forward. Love to see you over there. And the new YouTube project, Off the Air with Matt Wyatt. It's there on YouTube. Take a look and see what you think. Love to see you over there. It's kind of tough to drop them off. No, you're not going to see them for a week. Hey, bud. Hey, where we going? Huh? Come on. All right, Mary, we're about to be in Alabama, and you know what your mama says? She says, you'd think Nick Saban could have 4-lane this road if he wanted to. Vacation. What do you think about it? You work hard. You're supposed to work hard. We are supposed to work hard. Okay, and then where's the fine line in resting, being still? Okay, I was still saying, you stop and smell the roses. This week a senator passed away, and it was sudden. One day he's working and overseas and sort of being an ambassador for the United States and other areas, and then he comes home, and the next thing you know, click, he's gone. And so kind of thing that happens every day with people we know and people we love, where you're reminded we just don't know. You don't know how many days you have. You don't know how many hours. It's a guarantee that at some point life will be over and we'll have unfinished projects and unfinished business and things we were going to clean up that we didn't. And you see those things, it's a reminder. Also had a story.
On the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at the Zone1059.com.
Hey. All right, back with you. Rolling. Let's see what we can get into. Gene, hey, to you. Thanks. Gene on Facebook, you said, welcome back, Matt. Well, Gene, I appreciate it. I'm glad you're here today on the live stream on Facebook. JS290 on YouTube on the live stream. You said, travel ball insanity. Rival 15U parents brawl at Mississippi World Series over youth sports drama. Children screamed and cried as dueling 15 and under parents brawled at a World Series event in Laurel, Mississippi. Yeah, what else is new? Pretty soon, JS290, we're going to have to treat that like, no, actually, I've started to say, we might, those things, you don't give them attention. So treat them like streakers. You know how like somebody starts streaking at a ball game, they'll never show them so that they don't get the attention they want. But this may be different. This is something where they're doing this. They don't want the attention, but maybe they need to have a light shined on it, shown on it so that they get called out. Maybe it becomes a little bit more mitigating to get into that kind of thing. But really, who's surprised? Unfortunately, that's where we are. Nobody's really surprised. MSU 1980, you texted and said, good afternoon, Matt. I hope you had a great vacation. I'm glad that you're back on the radio, though. Well, thank you. Yeah, it did. Enjoy the time off with family and some travel and back for the duration. And on the 20-year Masters drought streak of 20 years of having his application for badges turned down, Nick said, dead serious. And I don't really even know, again, what is this? But Nick says his streak of not getting Masters badges has lasted longer than his 13-year streak of not vomiting. Now, is that a real or is that a reference you're trying to slip in? See, I'm always wondering what you got going on, Nick. Is that really you, or is that a Seinfeld reference or some other reference? I'm like, I don't know. All right. Hog Jowl, you said Arkansas. Okay. Back up to a couple weeks ago, Arkansas was one of our teams on our countdown of 80 teams in 80 days. We got a random number picker that picks them out. And that day it was Arkansas. And so I looked at the number of transfers, Ryan Silverfield coming in, getting a job, and 44 transfers into the program, new faces. That's all new stuff. It's like, it's all new. How do you know? I'm like you. How in the world do you know? I do. And we talked about this then. I do know that Silverfield knocked off some big boys pretty regularly as the coach at Memphis. Of course, Arkansas last year, he beat State. There was another couple of bigger wins for him too. Like they knocked some teams off. He can coach, I believe. I think he knows what he's doing. This day and age, you got to have stacks of money. You got to have resources and millions of dollars to go out here and pay guys to come play for you. But, assuming you can come up with that, Walmart and everything else, then, yeah. Okay, but the schedule, you said that ESPN has the Hogs schedule ranked hardest among all group of 4 teams. So Arkansas's schedule, you're going to start off hosting UNA, North Alabama, and then week 2 at Utah. Week 3, host Georgia. Week 4, host Tulsa. Now we're into October. You'll start off October going to Texas A&M, come back and host Tennessee. Mid-October, travel to Vandy, take a week off, and then finish up the month on Halloween hosting Missouri. And then in November, you'll travel to Auburn. You'll host South Carolina. You'll travel to Texas. And you finish the year with the game against LSU, which is a home game. Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough right there. That's pretty tough for Arkansas. So the non-conference games are UNA, Utah, and Tulsa. Okay, and the Utah game is on the road. Okay. And then in the conference, you have home games with Georgia, Tennessee, Missouri, South Carolina, road games at Texas A&M, at Vandy, at Auburn, and at Texas. I'm sorry, you have LSU at home also. That's pretty tough. Pretty tough. And I guess they're using their, what do they call that thing? The metric ESPN uses? FPI, the FPI, Football Power Index. And I guess that's what they're using to determine the toughness of the schedule. That's a pretty tough schedule. You do have to admit. Hey, there's a couple of SEC football stories not related to Arkansas that I saw today. First up, kid from Mississippi that plays running back for Missouri. He's healed up from his gunshot wound. His status is still to be determined. But he has been medically cleared. Missouri running back Ahmad Hardy has been medically cleared and is expected to make a full recovery from a gunshot wound to the leg, but his timetable for a return remains unclear. That's according to Eli Drinkwitz today. Hardy was shot in the upper leg May the 10th while attending an outdoor concert at a biker club in Laurel, Mississippi. All right, what's going on with Laurel? What's going on? 2 weeks ago, somebody sent me a list that somebody has come out with a list and says that not Jackson, but now Laurel is the number one most dangerous place in Mississippi. Okay, so you have that. Number two, we have what JS290 commented on YouTube and said, in Laurel this weekend, parents fighting at a softball tournament, 15 and under softball tournament. And then, of course, we go back to this guy getting shot at a biker club in Laurel back in May. What's going on in Laurel? Okay, so whatever, he's medically cleared, expected to make a full recovery, but the timetable for returning to play is unclear. And I'm assuming that Drinkwitz said that today at Media Days. I'm assuming. Who's over there at Media Days today? The other thing that I saw pop up at Media Days today was this. This is a pretty significant thing. According to Greg Sankey, Commissioner SEC, the idea of the SEC breaking away from everybody else because of this college sports bill in Congress, he called it, it's honest conversations. Like, he gave total validity to the idea the SEC is considering breaking away, being its own self. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey said today that he continues to have conversations with congressional leaders about the Protect College Sports Act, but stopped short of saying whether all the conference's suggested changes need to be implemented for it to support the bill. The SEC does not support the bill in its current form. And Sankey confirmed that there have been real conversations about whether the league should break away, which is what Georgia's president, University of Georgia, their president, Jerry Moorhead, suggested earlier this year. And here's what Sankey said about that today. Quote, people have talked about that. The frustrations that bring them to the point of saying we should look at something significantly different. I do not believe that is a leverage point. I think that's honest conversation. And I guess, you know, Sankey's smart. He's one of those, though, you have to always look really close at the quotes to decipher it in English. What he's saying there is, no, we're not saying we might break away just as a negotiating tactic to make them do what we want. We're really thinking we might do it. That's what he meant by that. All right, what do you think? Okay, country please and text line. What's up, Kenny? Kenny, don't call me Ken. Hey, and thanks for that picture. You said Emily leaving campus rec at Ole Miss and is headed to the University of Memphis as an academic advisor. Go Tigers. I got to meet Kenny's daughter, Emily, earlier this year for senior photos at Ole Miss. True story. It was really cool to meet her and take pictures and run around on campus. A beautiful day for it. The pictures turned out great. And now she's on to grad activities at the University of Memphis. So congrats to Emily and to you and the fam, Kenny. Okay, so it was a Seinfeld reference. Old Tackle helping me confirm it on the Country Pleasing text line. Nick in with the Seinfeld reference. I knew it had to be because it made no sense otherwise, is when he said his 20-year streak of not getting master's badges lasted longer than his 13-year streak of not vomiting. had to be Seinfeld. All right, we'll do the countdown of teams starting next. Stick around.
We'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple. Bun size, 3 links, bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt Radio Show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Y'all like coffee? I know you do. Check it out. Little High Point Roasters from New Albany, Mississippi. That is the breakfast blend. It's a whole bean. And if you notice, that's how much I've had already. Brazil Oberon. Not Ogeron or Orgeron, you LSU. No, Brazil Oberon. That ain't all. What we got there? What flavor is that? Papua New Guinea grade AA. Bring it on. High Point Roasters, New Albany, Mississippi. Roasted right there. That's whole bean. One more. I got more. Oh, try it.
has got it all for you.
Just listen to that!
At The Zone 105.9 and coming to you worldwide at TheZone1059.com.
Back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Yeah, Media Days is going on. I made a column on my tweet deck here on Twitter just for this week titled Media Day. So like their hashtag and anything that comes through there on Media Days comes into this one column. And this is the kind of thing I hate. And this is why I stopped. I'm reminded why I stopped caring. Some media person with a picture of them goes, Josh Heupel arrives at SEC Media Days flashing new Adidas shoes. And then a picture of them. Media Days. I don't know. Some of it's fun. I'll tell you what is fun. The countdown of 80 teams in 80 days started that back a long time ago. Today is 47 days away from Saturday, September the 5th. 47 days away, Saturday, September 5th. So we'll hit team number 47. We got 3 other teams we're going to do today. Keep making up ground for time missed last week on vacation. But team number 47 on the countdown is... That would be UNLV. Or the UNLV Rebels. Has anybody ever mentioned the irony in the fact that Dan Mullen is now the head coach of the Rebels? Okay. Yeah, they used to be the running Rebels. Didn't they? What? I'd have to look that up. I think UNLV used to officially be the running Rebels. Now they're just the Rebels. UNLV Rebels. Dan Mullen, the head coach. They're playing the Mountain West. In case you didn't know, after moving and shaking and some moving around and realignment and that sort of thing, the Mountain West consisting of Air Force, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, North Dakota State, Northern Illinois, San Jose State, UTEP, Wyoming, and UNLV. All right. Last season, year 1 at UNLV, right? I believe that's right. Year 1 or 2. Anyway, hadn't been there long. Dan Mullen got UNLV into the Mountain West Conference Championship game. They started the year a year ago 6-0. Am I counting that right? Yeah, 6-0. Last year under Mullen, UNLV started out 6-0. They beat Idaho State by 7, Sam Houston by 17. They beat UCLA by a touchdown, hosted them, beat them by a touchdown. Won back-to-back road games at Miami of Ohio, 41-38, really close game. At Wyoming, 31-17, not close. Came back home and beat Air Force in a high-scoring game, 51-48. So they were 6-0. And then had to travel to Boise State last year in October, lost that game, got whipped pretty good, 56-31. That was their first loss of the year. It was on the road. Came back home to start November and lost to New Mexico by 5, 40-35. So 6-0, and then back-to-back losses are 6-2. Then went on another win streak to finish the year. 4 in a row. Won at Colorado State by 32, 42-10. Went to double overtime with Utah State and beat them 29-26. Hosted Hawaii and just ran them out of the building 38-10. And then went to Nevada, season finale, UNLV at Nevada, rivalry game. Whipped them 42-17 and were 10-2 on the regular season before a rematch with Boise State in the Mountain West Conference Championship game. This time it was a closer game, but still Boise State beat them again 38-21. So 10-2 in the regular season, 10-3 with a Another loss to Boise in the title game. Then played in a bowl game, the Frisco Bowl against Ohio, the Bobcats from the MAC, and lost that one 17-10. So all in all, it was a 10-4 year. They went 6-2 in the conference, and their 2 losses in the regular season, Boise State and New Mexico, lost to Boise again in the title game. All right, this year, and we talked about this recently because I think, didn't we already talk about Memphis? I think we did. UNLV and Mullen this year are starting the season a week early, what used to be called week 0. It's not, it's just part of week 1, but instead of September 5th, they're opening up on Saturday, August the 29th, hosting Memphis on Saturday, August the 29th. Is that right? 9 p.m. kickoff time. So it'll be late season opener, Memphis at UNLV, first game of the year. Okay, and then the next week, September 5th, Mullen and UNLV, they travel to Hawaii. Then the third week, they travel to North Texas, take a week off, and then travel to Akron. So 3 of the 4 games in the first month of the season for Mullen and UNLV, 3 of the 4 are on the road. They only got 1 home game in the entire first month of the season. And that September 26th trip to Akron, it'll be, of course, Mullen versus Joe Moorhead in Akron. Month of October for Mullen and UNLV, back-to-back home games with Cal and North Dakota State, travel to Air Force, take a week off, and then on Halloween, they will host Northern Illinois. November games, they'll host Wyoming, go back-to-back on the road in New Mexico, San Jose State, and finish the year. They host the rivalry game this year on Thanksgiving against Nevada. And that's a bit of their schedule. And I was looking at their coaching staff just to see, like, if I recognized names on Dan Mullen's staff at UNLV from his time at State. And I really don't. Now, I recognize the name, but Mullen's associate head coach and defensive coordinator is Paul Gunther. Okay, been around forever, but they didn't coach together at State. Louis Adazio is coaching the offensive line, and that may be in relation to Steve. I don't know, but I don't recognize that name. But I don't see any others, but there are 2 other analyst names I recognize. They have a defensive analyst there under Mullen, Vontez Burfict. Remember him? Played Florida. Really good player in the NFL. And Marvin Burr. Do y'all remember Marvin Burr, who played at State? I think he's from Vicksburg, played at State during that time, was really a good special teams player. He's a recruiting assistant and defensive analyst for Mullen on the staff. Now, off the field staff, he's got some people there with him who were with him at State. Lee Davis is chief of staff. She was at State with him. And John Clark, the director of football ops. They've been together forever, from Florida to State and back to Florida, and then all of that. And then I don't recognize, even the strength staff. Tanner Meyer, I think it's Marr, is the director of strength and conditioning, and I don't recognize that. That's not someone I recognize from his time at State. Could have been, but anyway, a little bit of a look at UNLV, coached by Dan Mullen. Unnamed texter, country please and text line. You say Mullen will stomp Moorhead. Jason, Flagstaff, Arizona, you said that 6-0 start was stupid. All but like 8 people on the entire roster were brand new. Several of them the games were won very late. Heck of a coaching job by Mullen last year. And he said he also made an absolute star out of that quarterback who went to Nebraska immediately after the season. Yeah, hence the Mullen comments recently, right, about you just can't do things anymore the way he did at State, where he would, sign people that other people missed and develop them and into a really good team. The Res Dog, you texted, you said, who do you think Mullen will bring with him to Starkville next year? I don't know. Turnover. I mean, that's just the name of everything now. Roster, coaches, is constant turnover. What's up, Chris? Good to see you here on this Monday on YouTube with the all caps Hail State Monday, you say. And Hail State fan, you're confirming that Louis Adazio is Steve's son. Steve Adazio, longtime coach, former head coach at Boston College. spent some time at Florida, and that would be his son, okay, who's the offensive line coach at UNLV. Thank you. More of your texts and your comments coming up. Text on the Country Pleasing text line, 885-3776. All of that and more rolling along with you on this Monday. I'm Matt in the Bureau, Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The Junction Deli's, convenience redefined, and Prince Oil Company, a match made in heaven. The Junction Deli, fueled by Prince Oil Company. Prince Oil Company has been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. It's a pretty good little while. Wonderful people. Man, am I ever more tickled that they're a part of the show and I'm a part of their team now. As you know, if you listen to the radio show, I've been to the Junction in several different places around the state. I've bought gas just like you at a lot of places that are fueled by Prince Oil Company, and they are really wonderful people. By the way, that brand spanking new Junction Deli, Chevron, right across the highway from Germantown High School. It's in Canton. We say Gluckstadt. Do you realize they and other Junction Delis, they serve country pleasing sausage over there on the buffet? They don't get much better than that. The Junction and Prince Oil Company. That's what I'm talking about. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot. Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone.
You're going to hear about them all and get to talk about it with Matt Wyatt right here, right now on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
All right, back with you. I'm Matt. In the Bureau, the Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau Insurance, go with the home team. They are your home team. Hey to you on the live stream, if you're on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter. If you post a comment, pops up on the screen right here. I click it. It pops up on the screen where everybody can see it. That's a way to be a part of the show. That way you can call me on the Junction phone. Junction delis all across the state of Mississippi, fueled by Prince Oil Company. They've been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. So call me. I want to get to hear your voice. Number to call, 897-1059. 897-1059. Yeah. So what is it, week 4? Something like that? We're going to get a Mullen versus Moorhead matchup. Moorhead, who came to state after Mullen left from Penn State, who then it was rumored that Mullen always wanted to go to Penn State, didn't. Just like that. Our next team on the countdown of 80 teams in 80 days is the Penn State Nittany Lions. How you feel about, what do they call it? State College, Pennsylvania. Let's see how they do last year. Because it was what? Last year was James Franklin's last year at Penn State, final year. They finished 7-6 overall. They were 3-6 in the Big Ten. They fired him. Moved on. He lands at Virginia Tech. Probably going to do a good job there, don't you think? Okay. That's Penn State's fight song. New coaching staff. Matt Campbell is in there from Iowa State. Defensive coordinator DeAnt Lynn. Offensive coordinator Taylor Mauser. Of the guys, I'm looking to see if there's any names we recognize on the staff, and I don't see any, but we know who Matt Campbell is. You know, and without, again, looking up all of his bio, I do know that they had really good teams there. So he goes to Penn State. Matt Campbell spent a decade as Iowa State's head coach. He is the winningest program in Iowa State. I'm sorry, the winningest coach in Iowa State program history. 3-time Big 12 Coach of the Year, 17, 18, again in 20. Led Iowa State to its only 2 top 15 finishes ever. And he had 18 All-American players while he was there, so that's a big part of it. Spent time at Toledo, Bowling Green, Mount Union prior to Iowa State. So that's who he is. This year, Penn State will begin the year 47 days from today on Saturday, September the 5th versus Marshall. They're going to host Marshall. Week 2, they'll go to Temple, 11 a.m. game. Week 3, they will host Buffalo and then get into Big Ten play starting on the last Saturday in September. They will host Wisconsin. That'll be a big deal, right? Because they're going to start 3-0. Matt Campbell will have them out of the chutes 3-0. I have not looked up to see what kind of turnover they had as far as the numbers, but I would assume coaching change, it's a lot. Just like everywhere else. And then so week 4, when they are 3-0 and hosting Wisconsin, that'll be a big deal. And it's interesting, y'all, the TV partners, they put that one as a TBD game time. Penn State's first conference game, hosting it. They put it as a TBD. Make sure they're 3-0, and let's see what Wisconsin does, because if they are, we're going to put it in a time slot depending on how they've looked up to that point. Then in October for Penn State, they got 4 games at Northwestern, hosting USC. Boy, that'd be a trip, won't it, for USC? And then third weekend in October, October 17th, they are at Michigan. Penn State at Michigan on October 17th. They will finish. They'll take a week off and then finish October on Halloween hosting Purdue. And then the November games for Penn State at Washington, back-to-back at home against Minnesota and Rutgers, and finish the year on Thanksgiving at Maryland. One of those is a neutral site deal. No, I guess not. No, those are all home or away. So they don't play any. Penn State this year is not playing any neutral site ball games. So yeah, a little bit about Penn State. Year 1, Matt Campbell over from Iowa State was really, really, really good there. We'll see how it goes. Transfer in a whole bunch of new ones and just see how it goes. All right, over the phone. Here we go. The Junction phone, Junction delis all across the state, fueled by Prince Oil Company. On line 1, it is Ready Teddy. What's up, Teddy? I don't hear it. There he goes. Teddy, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yep, got you. What's up?
I hadn't talked to you in a while. How you doing?
Just right. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Just busy.
Oh,
Hey, so you said James Franklin, got fired at Penn State and went to Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
I really admire that, because that shows he really loves coaching. Because I haven't seen the numbers, but there's a possibility he'd have made more money just taking his buyout instead of going to get another job.
Sure, that's right.
I mean,
depending on the contract situation, that's right.
Yeah, Penn State's probably got a thing where you actively have to seek employment or something like that. I would think. You don't just get to take your buyout and quit. Well, I don't know. That's what Brian Kelly's doing.
Well, and the other thing about that too is it's an offset, meaning, okay, if Penn State owed him, I mean, let's just use round numbers. Let's say Penn State owed him, I don't know, $10 million. If he goes and gets a job and makes $5 million from Virginia Tech, that offsets, and therefore Penn State only owes him $5 million. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's how it's working.
Now I'm going to look into it, and I'll check back with you. I know you're about to go to a break, man. Good talking to you. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, Teddy. Call anytime. Yeah, I never even thought of that. It never crossed. I just thought he's a coach. He got a job. He's going to coach. But it's true. Teddy's right. I mean, we were talking about Mullen a while ago. When Florida gave him the boot, what did Mullen do? Took all their buyout money, got no coaching job to offset, made Florida pay him, but went and got a TV job, so he doubled up. Wait for some of that to wear off 3 or 4 years and gets out of TV and gets back into coaching. And Mullen's a good coach. I thought Mullen did a really good job on television too. He was just, I don't know, maybe it's, imagine that, somebody on TV that really knows what they're talking about from an X's and O's standpoint. But yeah, he was really good on TV too. I kind of hated to see him leave the television stuff, but that's what he did. And financially it made a lot of sense, right? Because if you go get a coaching job, it would have offset what Florida had to pay him in his buyout. He let Florida pay all of it there for a few years and just went and played golf, did the TV thing, cruised, probably put on some weight. And then after a little bit, you miss it and you want to get back into. Yeah, I can just tell you, I don't know how you explain it, really. It's hard to explain to someone, but people who've experienced it know it and don't need an explanation. If you've gone through enough of it as a player, as a coach, the hardest things you go through, the conditioning, the practicing in the heat in August, and the smell of cut grass and sweaty shoulder pads that you're wearing and all the stuff you go through, and the camaraderie with the team and being a part of it in the dirt, you get to missing it and you become homesick for it. And some people, that's what I think after their playing careers are over, it's what drives them into coaching is they can't imagine, they just can't stomach the idea of not being around it, you know? And I think coaches, they get that way too. They just got to get back into it. Some of them are that way. It's not a money thing. It's a heart thing. All right. Hour 1 in the books. Hour 2 coming up after this in the Bureau on this Monday. Stick around.
Jake Mangum here. When you're on a team, you need a game plan, especially when it comes to...
We'll be right back. Yeah. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agents phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him.
Listen to them all the time, every day.
At ESPN 105.9, The Zone. WRKS Pickens Jackson, where it's time for the guy who always gets you to the ball game on time. And here's the pitch. It's Matt Wyatt with all the good stuff you need to know right here on The Zone 105.9 and worldwide at TheZone1059.com.
Back with you, hour two. Back with you, hour number two. In the Bureau, the Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Quote from SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey today at SEC Media Days in Tampa. Did y'all even know that SEC Media Days was being held in Tampa, Florida? What do you think about that? Do you care? I mean, if you're not there, who cares, right? Like I'm not there. I'm watching it on TV. I think if I were still going, I would be like, Tampa? I do know that I won't say who. I'm not talking about Mississippi State. I'm talking about some friends of mine who work at other universities in the SEC that I spoke to recently. And nobody was really that thrilled with the idea. It was like really confusing as to why the league would take it to Tampa. Anyway, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey, quote, "No one has created the weekly competition that exists in the Southeastern Conference. We believe we are the best conference in college football." What do you think? Okay, so the Big Ten has won the last 3 national championships. Most recently, Indiana has won the last 3 national championships. And I don't know if you've noticed it, but I've noticed it, is that kind of statement, having to verbally like come out here and say it out loud and repeat it. No, we're the best conference. We have the toughest week-to-week competition in our league. We're the best. Having to come out and say it. Okay, there's a couple things. I think it is true. I've noticed it. I think it is true that they have, it's almost been a task to go out here and reiterate that message and say it boldly out loud so that everyone can hear you and quote you saying the SEC is still the best conference. We got the toughest week-to-week competition. And you're doing it, the cause of hearing that more is that the Big Ten's won the last 3. People are starting to question that, right? Because your championship streak's being cut off. 2, though, the other side of it is like the SEC still pumping out the most players to the NFL and that sort of thing. But there's no doubt the part of me really is, I'm kind of like, if it's really true, you don't have to go around saying it. Right? It's like, take anything you want to take. Okay, really successful people financially. They just don't have, they don't. Not only do they not go around telling people how much money they have, they don't have to. They just don't do it. When you hear someone who likes to openly remind you how much money they have, it's usually an indication. What are they covering up? Why are you so insecure about it, right? You have to keep telling me that you're the best, telling me that you're the best. Are you? Why do you have to say it? If you are, you really don't have to keep saying it. See, JS290, quote, "When you're explaining, you're not winning." I mean, I actually believe, week to week, everybody's schedule. I mean, Arkansas has the toughest schedule in the country. I mean, it's LSU and road trips to Texas and hosting Georgia and, all this kind of stuff. It is toughest week to week. But I think, I don't know, maybe I'm misreading it. I just think that as the commissioner of the league, you shouldn't feel obligated to have to keep telling everybody that you're the best conference, because then it gives you this look of, like you say, JS2 now, like you're explaining. You don't have to explain. Hey, here we are on a Monday, staying connected to you because of C Spire, the number one network in Mississippi. C Spire, customer inspired. Check them out, cspire.com. And the one plan, if you haven't looked at that, look it up. You can see it at cspire.com. The one plan, you get fiber internet at home and your wireless all bundled together, starting at $99 a month. It's an incredible deal at C Spire. Country pleasing text line. Country pleasing sausage on grocery store shelves all around the Southeast. Ready, Teddy. You say the loud guy that talks about how bad and tough he is usually is weaker than wet toilet paper. Yes, that's right. I mean, the tough guys, they don't really go around talking about it that much. But, okay, in Sankey's defense, I mean, this is SEC Media Days, and, you know, it's an entertainment business. It is. It's entertainment. That's what it is. So entertain me. Entertain me this week from Tampa. Say something wild. As Steve Spurrier used to call it, talking season. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Teddy, me, you, Beaver, Jason, Hail State fan, Kenny, Res Dog, all of us who are here today on the show. We are all old enough to remember what I'm about to say and probably be in agreement, but we're also all going to sound like old guys. It used to be more entertaining than it is now. Now, the league has done what they should do. If I was in charge of it, I'd do the same thing. And that is you gear this thing towards television. You've got your own television network who has no interesting programming throughout the year except when live games are happening. So gear this thing towards TV and really build it up and have a good time with that. And they have. And that's what they should do. Okay, but it used to be more entertaining. I mean, and we can go back as far as you want to go back, but even more recently, I mean, within the last 10, 15 years, when they still had it at Hoover, had it at the Galleria in Hoover, Alabama. I mean, it was cool because that felt small and intimate and regional. And like Steve Spurrier would roll up in there as the head coach at South Carolina or something, you know, and he'd quip this and quip that about talking season, and then would walk out of there and go across the street to Arby's, undo his tie and put his, hat around backwards and put his sunglasses on his head and untuck his shirt, tie off, and be out there getting himself a big gulp at Arby's. And fans taking his picture. It was entertaining then. I've talked about this before too. Like you go back. So what's the lineup? What's the lineup? Here we go. Today at Media Days, we have Oklahoma, Missouri, Kentucky, and Tennessee. So day one, SEC Media Days, who are your head coaches taking the podium and answering questions? Okay, Brent Venables. Great guy, great coach. Entertaining? No, at all. Eli Drinkwitz. Really good coach, fun guy, semi-entertaining, but he's no Spurrier at all. Kentucky's there today. Who's their coach? Do you even know? I don't have the slightest idea who their coach is. I'd have to look it back up. And then you got Heupel there for Tennessee. Great guy, great coach. Entertaining? Not in the slightest. At all. Crickets. Let's see, tomorrow, I don't know. What day is it? Yeah. Where's Tuesday? Tuesday, we get Kirby Smart, Georgia. Alex Golish, Auburn. Clark Lee, Vandy. Shane Beamer, South Carolina. Are you entertained? Great coaches, great. Some of them are great guys. Kirby Smart, great coach. I like Kirby Smart. I'm a Kirby fan. Entertaining? Not really. Not really. Clark Lee? Great coach. Put you right to sleep. Wednesday, Kalen DeBoer, Alabama. John Summerall, Florida. Pete Golding, Ole Miss. Mike Elko, A&M. Hey, go to SEC Media Days on Wednesday. Bring a pillow and your PJs right to sleep. But then the big finale, right? Thursday, Lane Kiffin, Ryan Silverfield, Jeff Levy, Steve Sarkisian. If it was not for Lane Kiffin, it might be the least entertaining lineup from a coach's standpoint. Great guys, great coaches, entertaining, not in the slightest. If it ain't for Lane Kiffin, it's like flatline at SEC Media Days. Back after this.
Hey, y'all, let me tell you about a couple of things that you might want to take a look at. First up, there's a whole new series of football videos that I have begun on the YouTube channel this summer, and it's going to go all throughout the fall, all the way through football season this year. One is an early week upload called Football IQ, where I kind of talk through some concept ideas related to watching football as a fan. Later in the week, there's an upload series called Matt Explains, where I take one specific football term or concept and kind of break that X's and O's down for you, where again, you as a fan can watch it, learn it, and then watch football games differently and enjoy watching those. We just started a Saturday, Sunday, once a weekend live stream called Coffee with Matt. That'll take place probably on Sunday nights and every now and then a Saturday. Sports, that'll be fun too when we get into the season when there's games. And then the fourth thing I want to make you aware of, for viewers of the radio show, listeners to the radio show, if you like the Mississippi Outdoors podcast, I've started a new YouTube channel called Off the Air with Matt. And I'll put a link on the screen right here, but you can just look it up on YouTube, Off the Air with Matt Wyatt. And what that is sort of a weekly, once a week show behind the scenes of what it's like for someone who talks on the radio and does podcasts and does ball games and stuff. And it's what life off the air is like. And so got one of those shows up. Last week was the first week. This will be week 2. Kind of currently shooting behind the scenes for some of that stuff. So you may enjoy that too. Anyway, just wanted to give you a heads up. You've got Football IQ, concepts that you can learn as a fan to help you enjoy watching football more. Matt Explains, and there's a whole playlist for that. X's and O's, specific things. And again, you can learn it, helps you enjoy it more as a fan. The weekend live stream, Coffee with Matt, which will be on the YouTube channel going forward. I'd love to see you over there. And the new YouTube project, Off the Air with Matt Wyatt, it's there on YouTube. Take a look and see what you think. Love to see you over there. It's kind of tough to drop them off. No, you're not going to see them for a week. Hey, bud. Hey, where we going? Huh? Come on. All right, Mary, we're about to be in Alabama, and you know what your mama says? She says, you'd think Nick Saban could have 4-lane this road if he wanted to. Vacation. What do you think about it? You work hard. You're supposed to work hard. We are supposed to work hard. Okay, and then where's the fine line in resting, being still? Okay, I was still saying, you stop and smell the roses. This week a senator passed away, and it was sudden. One day he's working and overseas and sort of being an ambassador for the United States and other areas, and then he comes home, and the next thing you know, click, he's gone. And so kind of thing that happens every day with people we know and people we love, where you're reminded we just don't know. You don't know how many days you have. You don't know how many hours. You know, it's a guarantee that at some point life will be over and we'll have unfinished projects and unfinished business and things we were going to clean up that we didn't. And, you know, you see.
On the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
Back with you, I'm Matt, in the Bureau, the Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Yeah, we're talking about claiming what you are and being the best conference. And WC, you said on YouTube, a lion never has to tell you he is a lion. And that's kind of the way I feel about it. And again, you know, in Sankey's defense, he's at SEC Media Days. Media, what do? They ask questions. What do you expect you to do with the questions? Answer them. Could have been a question. You got to answer it. Might as well be honest. Okay, how you feel? All right. But there's been a lot of that. No, we're the best. I tell you what is the best. Hot coffee from High Point Roasters in New Albany, Mississippi. Go to highpointroasters.com. Order your coffee right there. The oldest coffee roaster in the state of Mississippi. They get single origin beans from all over the world. This is some right here from Costa Rica. Yeah, Costa Rico. And you can get it whole bean, or you can get, already ground. Also blends that they've developed: New Albany blend, Magnolia blend, specialty coffee for pilots, campfire blend, on and on and on. It's all there on the website. Go to highpointroasters.com and check it out. Let's see. Possum Neck Joe, you texted the show. Here we go. We file this under random summer questions that you hear in our neck of the woods. Is there anything more worthless than a horsefly? He said, it's already hot enough. I don't need to deal with horseflies. What is the purpose of a horsefly, huh? Big old horseflies. And they'll get you too. They'll zap you. It's not as bad as a wasp or something, but they will zap you. Some of them are that bad. I tell you what, though, Possum Neck Joe, one purpose they serve, it's great for hand-eye coordination, learning to hit them with a tennis racket. Pow! That's fun. That's fun to do. Okay, if you're just tuning in, we got something going on this summer called the Countdown of 80 Teams in 80 Days. We're counting down to Saturday, September the 5th, which is when State, Ole Miss, and Southern Miss all open up. Now, obviously, there'll be some games the week before that, August the 29th. But in terms of when our teams around here are opening up, the first full Saturday of college football, Saturday, September the 5th. Today's 47 days from that. I was out last week on vacation. We got a lot of teams to make up, so we're kind of making up some of the teams in the countdown today. We've already had two. Earlier, it was UNLV. Then it was Penn State. We got another one here that has a very familiar name to me and to you on this radio show on the coaching staff. Team number, this would have been yesterday's team. Team number 48 on the countdown is... That would be the Old Dominion Monarchs from the Sun Belt. Now, I don't want to bury the lead here. When you look on the coaching staff, head coach, offensive coordinator, all his coaching staff at Old Dominion, you scroll down, you're going to see a last name that you recognize. There he is, the director of scouting for Old Dominion football, Nick Louvier. Where you at, Louvier? That's right, Louvier, who Texas has got a offspring on the coaching staff at Old Dominion. Old Dominion University. All right. What do you need to know about ODU? Old Dominion in the Sun Belt. They are not in the same division as Southern Miss. Old Dominion's in the East Division, obviously. Again, Round of applause, tip of the cap to everybody at the Sun Belt for being a conference that has a little bit of sense when it comes to how they geographically align things. If you look at the Sun Belt, you can draw a line. And east of that line are the teams in the east. West of that line are the teams in the west. Pretty simple. But Old Dominion's in the east with James Madison, Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern, Marshall, App State, and Georgia State. Of course, in the west, you got Troy, Southern Miss, Louisiana, Arkansas State, Texas State, South Alabama, Louisiana, Monroe. What did they do last year? Last year, Old Dominion finished second in the East Division, right behind James Madison. They went 10-3 overall. 10-3 overall. 6-2 in the conference, but they finished second in the division behind James Madison, who was a top 15 really good football team. 12-2, went 8-0 in the conference. They got in the playoff and got embarrassed and that whole thing. But they're really good. And a good team last year. 10-3, 10-win season for them a year ago. We'll take a look under Ricky Ronnie, the head football coach. That 10-3 record a year ago for Old Dominion included the season opening loss to none other than the future national champion, Indiana Hoosiers, 27-14. First game of the year last year was Indiana hosting Old Dominion. It was a close game, 27-14. Old Dominion was competitive. And then after that, they went on a 4-game win streak, beat North Carolina Central, just killed them. Beat Virginia Tech at Virginia Tech, 45-26. Beat Liberty, shut them down on defense. Beat Coastal Carolina by 40, and so they were 4-1. And then they had back-to-back road trips in October at Marshall and at James Madison, lost them both. Gave up 48 in a loss at Marshall. The next week gave up 63 in a loss at James Madison. So there they are, 4-3. And then once they went 4-3, finished the year on a 5-game win streak, won 5 in a row. Beat App State at home by 3. Went to Monroe and beat Louisiana Monroe 31-6. Hosted Troy and shut them out, beat them 33-0. Beat Georgia Southern at Georgia Southern by 35, 45-10. And in the season finale, they hosted Georgia State and beat them 27-10. Played in a bowl game against South Florida, beat them 24-10. So that was their 10th win of the year. What I don't know is, was Golish still coaching South Florida in the bowl game, or had he already moved on to Auburn? I don't know, but at any rate, 5 wins in a row in the regular season, 6 in a row, including the bowl game. That was Old Dominion last year. They're a better team than I guess I realized before I started looking at this. This year, Old Dominion will play the last game of the year, Thanksgiving, hosting Southern Miss. So it'll be a big game, for Blake Anderson and Southern Miss. But last game of the year, they will go to Old Dominion. The rest of the schedule for Old Dominion, they start in 47 days on Saturday, September 5th, hosting Norfolk State. Week 2, they go to Virginia Tech, rematch of the game they won last year. James Franklin this time. Week 3, they host East Carolina. Week 4, host James Madison. That's September 26th, so circle that one. Then October games for Old Dominion, back-to-back at Georgia State and at App State. Come back home and host Georgia Southern. Then at Louisiana Tech. Halloween, they'll host Marshall. So 5 games in October, no open date. 3 of the 5 on the road. That'll be a tough October for Old Dominion. And then November games, only 3 of them because they travel to Coastal Carolina the first weekend of November, take the next week off. Then on the 21st, go to UConn. And then on Thanksgiving, they're going to host Southern Miss. And that's a little bit of a look. So coaching staff, I mentioned Ricky Ronnie is the head football coach. And Old Dominion does this thing where they let somebody sponsor the head football coach. Because on the website, Coach Ronnie is the Thurman family ODU head football coach. So the Thurman family gave a bunch of money and got their names. He's their coach. That's actually a pretty smart idea, huh? Got to get it however you can get it. It's interesting. Ricky Ronnie, he spells Ronnie R-A-H-N-E. R-A-H-N-E, Ricky Ronnie. Let's see. Do I recognize any of the other names on the staff other than Louvier? Ryan Wilson coaching tight ends. No. Nick Louvier, director of scouting, all the way from Jackson, Mississippi. So that's a look at Old Dominion. Finish the season hosting Southern Miss. Could be a big game by the time we roll around to Thanksgiving. Could be. All right, rolling along with you here, staying connected because of C Spire, the #1 network in Mississippi. Check out the One plan, bundle up the home internet along with wireless, starting at $99 a month. It's a great deal, by the way. More from Media Days coming up, and another team on the countdown as we make our way through hour 2 here on the show on this Monday. Back after this.
We'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple. Bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Y'all like coffee? I know you do. Check it out. Little High Point Roasters from New Albany, Mississippi. That is the breakfast blend. It's whole bean. And if you notice, that's how much I've had already. Brazil Oberon. Not Orgeron or Orgeron, you LSU. No, Brazil Oberon. That ain't all. we got there? What flavor is that? Papua New Guinea, grade AA. Bring it on. High Point Roasters, New Albany, Mississippi. Roast it right there. That's whole bean. One more. I got more. Ah, tried and true. Magnolia Blend. High Point Roasters coffee, New Albany, Mississippi. It is the best.
All right, back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. I was looking at it a minute ago. I couldn't remember. Here it is, Will Stein. So this is not on him. It's not on y'all. This is all on me. When somebody like me says, who is Kentucky's head coach, and then follows that up by saying, I don't have the slightest idea who it is. Okay, well, it's on me. I should know who Kentucky's new head coach is. And to prove, Beaver always has these theories about my phone listening to me and listening to my conversations and things that I say when I don't know that it's listening. I said that in the last segment, didn't I? During the break, I start checking social media. Boom, there's a post. Kentucky head coach Will Stein on why the Wildcats will win big in Lexington. So like it heard me and it gave me something on it. And here it is. But how about this quote? So this is, I said entertain me. I said it's SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida. But entertain me. That's what it is for. It's for entertainment. Entertain me then. Well, here's a start. Kentucky head coach Will Stein on why the Wildcats will win big in Lexington. Quote, because of me, to be honest. Because of me. There you go. Somebody needs to tell Will Stein, man, you already got the job. This is not a job interview. You've got the job. That's the kind of thing you say in a job interview. Why will you win big? Because of me. Okay, but anyway, Will Stein. If you don't believe in yourself, who will? He said, because of me. We're going to win because of me. Will Stein. 2013 was a grad assistant for Louisville. 2015, 16, and 17, he was quality control at Texas. 2018 and 19, he was the assistant head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, recruiting coordinator, Lake Travis High School, Texas. Now, let me tell you what's interesting about that. Hold on a minute. Did you see that? Did y'all notice that? High school, Lake Travis in Texas, recruiting coordinator. 2020 and 21, he became the passing game coordinator, receivers coach at UTSA. 2022, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, UTSA. 2023, 24, and 25, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach at Oregon. Now, here's the thing about that. Okay, you have some turnover this year in the SEC. Okay, here I am. I'm about to throw my shoulder out, pat myself on the back for saying this last year, and I've been telling you, but if you've listened to the show, you remember it. These schools, most of them, not all, but most of even the Power Four schools, the days of going out here and hiring the established head coach, whether it's retread or recruiting them away or whatever, and paying them 10, 12, 14, 15 million dollars, those days are over because it's more important to pay players. And what did Kentucky do? Established veteran with 10-year head coach gone the paycheck. A first-time head coach. 7 years ago, he's coaching in high school. Good coach, take a swing at it, but the money's going to players. It's not going to these head coaches anymore. What did Arkansas do? I mean, they went and got Ryan Silverfield from Memphis, but, they didn't try to go hire away a Big 12 or a Big 10 head coach somewhere. Those days are done. I mean, and I guess you'll see the occasional thing of LSU hires Lane Kiffin away from Ole Miss type of thing. It's because they can, and maybe because they feel like it's a no-brainer, but you'll see less and less of that. You're going to see more and more of this. Really good pedigree offense, been around a really good head coach at Oregon for 3 years, knows it. Come in here and cut your teeth, man. Sure, use us as a stepping stone. If you do that, it means that you had some success here over a 2-3 year period of time. We'll go find the next offensive coordinator in need of a head coaching job. Pay him a handful of millions as compared to these other head coaches, and we'll find other ways to swerve that money around through some, I don't know, collective or, Wildcat club or something, and we'll pay players. You'll see more and more and more of that. And so that's there's an example of it. Excuse me. Last year, Oregon had an offensive lineman drafted in the first round. Oregon had a tight end drafted in the second round. I say last year, so 25, not 26. They had a quarterback drafted in the third round. Running back went in the fifth. Another offensive lineman in the sixth. And a receiver in the seventh. The year before that, they had a quarterback taken in the first round. Offensive lineman in the second round. Receiver in the fourth. And a running back in the fourth. So, that's Oregon. Oregon's got players and going to have them. And, is Kentucky under this guy going to have the same kind of players they had at Oregon? No. I'll tell you one thing. He's doggone confident, isn't he? Hey, Coach, why do you think you'll win there at Kentucky? Because of me. Because of me. Put that in your paper. Man. That's what I'm talking about. All right, and here we have this. Look, if you'll just hang in there with me on this, coming up in a minute, we're going to have another team to count down on the countdown of 80 teams in 80 days. That's coming up. You do have SEC Media Days. It's just getting started today. Gone are the days, okay, when you could go to one SEC Media Days event and run into guys like this. Spurrier, Johnny Majors, Billy Brewer, Jackie Sherrill. Who else? Gene Stallings, Pat Dye, Lou Holtz. Those days are gone. It's a whole different animal now. But there is this, okay, I've told you before, there was a statement that came out today. Greg Sankey today said the conversations about possibly the SEC pulling away and just doing its own thing, those are real conversations. It's not just leverage points. We're not just using it to scare people in negotiations. We're really talking about doing it, is what he said. Based on this Protect College Sports Act bill that's on the desk up there for people to vote on in Congress, and the SEC does not support it for different reasons. Here's this. Chair of SEC Presidents, Chancellors, Tennessee Chancellor Donde Plowman issues a statement on the Protect College Sports Act. So this is the chair of the SEC Presidents and Chancellors. Let me summarize and try to get to the good part. We're grateful for Senators Cruz and Cantwell, leadership, blah, blah, blah. The lack of clear national standards and consistent rules is unsustainable for all involved. The SEC and its member universities have been vocal and collaborative with the senators throughout the bill drafting process. We applaud how the language we have seen so far addresses important issues. Okay, on and on and on and on and on. That means this, that, and the other. The SEC has also been clear and transparent with our congressional stakeholders about critical amendments to the bill, such as antitrust and preemption language that would address lawsuits and all that kind of thing. We are eager to see the refined bill language as time to vote draws near, and are hopeful updated language will address these important issues. So, in other words, the vote's getting closer and closer on it. We like some things about it, but you need some amendments on some other things. We here at the SEC want to see that amended language, is basically what they're saying in their statement today from SEC presidents and chancellors. A little bit of time left with you. I'll come to your texts, Teddy and others on the Country Pleasing text line, and another team on the countdown. That's all coming up back after this.
Not all advanced technology.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple. Bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt Radio Show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Y'all like coffee? I know you do. Check it out. Little High Point Roasters from New Albany, Mississippi. That is the breakfast blend. It's whole bean. And if you notice, that's how much I've had already. Brazil Oberon. Not not Orgeron or Orgeron, you LSU. No, Brazil Oberon. That ain't all. We got that. What flavor is that? Papua New Guinea, grade AA. Bring it on. High Point Roasters, New Albany, Mississippi. Roast it right there. That's whole bean. One more. I got more.
He's got a menu full on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
All right, back with you. A little bit of time left with you here on this Monday. It sure is good to be back. Vacation's great, but it's good to be back. If you're a quick reminder, you may have seen it in one of the breaks here if you're watching the live stream on YouTube or on Twitter or Facebook. But if you're not and you're just on the radio, something you might be interested in, I've got 2 YouTube channels of stuff that you might be interested in. Okay. One is a channel that's been around for a while. It's just the Matt Wyatt Media YouTube channel. And it's primarily football content and radio show, this type of stuff. We stream this show on it and everything. Well, on that YouTube channel, there's a new series of stuff, football related. It began 2 weeks ago. It's all planned out. It goes all the way through the end of the year. We'll cover football season, where each week there's a football IQ video where I'm kind of explaining concept stuff, things to think about and learn as a fan that helps you to understand what you're seeing when you watch a game, but have more fun when you watch it. Then later in the week, there's a Matt Explains playlist and feature where we break down one specific type of X's and O's thing that you can understand and catch it and watch it and see it when you watch football games. There'll be a live stream on the weekends, and that's mostly a Sunday night thing, but every now and then it'll be on a Saturday too. But all that's going on in that channel. Then there's a new YouTube channel that's created out there, and you can go subscribe to that or just go and watch it. And it's called Off the Air with me, Matt Wyatt. And so that's a little bit of a behind the scenes sort of jump in the truck and ride with me around week to week and see what it's like off the air when we're not in the radio studio or in the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks podcast studio or not in the broadcast booth, and kind of what that's like. And so if you like that kind of stuff, it's out there too. And it's called Off the Air. So just check that out and let me know what you think. Teddy. I heard from Teddy earlier on the Junction phone. Junction delis all across the state of Mississippi, fueled by Prince Oil Company. And now I got Teddy on the Country Pleasing text line. The number to text is 885-3776. Text the show at the Country Pleasing text line. Country Pleasing sausage, made right here in Mississippi. This is the world's best sausage. 885-3776. Teddy says, maybe if the SEC does break away, the NCAA will finally sell their condo in Oxford. And we laugh about that, Teddy, but really, like they probably have property. I mean, they probably have a place to stay. So it's just theirs. Yeah. If you need the keys, let me know if you're going down there. It's a funny thought, though. But really, we laugh about it. It's kind of like, again, Teddy, I'm not saying you are old. I'm just saying we are, me and you both, and we're old enough to remember when we thought of the NCAA as sort of the getting called to the principal's office, and they could actually paddle you legally if they wanted to. We don't really look at it that way anymore, do we? Nor should we. NCAA and the idea of enforcement is just a ghost. It always has been. I mean, it's kind of a ghost we all believe in. Well, we have reached the point. Okay, context. We've had this will be the 4th team today on the countdown of 80 teams in 80 days. Why 4 teams in one day? Well, today is 47 days from September 5th, so we did team 47. We did a team that we missed last week because we were out. I was out for vacation. That was Penn State. We did the team that would have been yesterday's countdown team had we had a show on Sunday. That was 48. And this is going to be team 49 that would have been on Saturday had we had a show on Saturday. And team 49 on the countdown of 80 teams in 80 days is Western Michigan Broncos. If you're like me and you've gotten Western Michigan Broncos confused over the years with the Central Michigan Chippewas, well, let's learn a little something. Oh, I like this. I like it. Okay, I like when they sing. All right, so that's the Western Michigan fight song. It's really cool. It's like a cross between a fight song and the intro to the Looney Tunes. You see what I mean? It's a great fight song, great band also. So here's what you need to know a little bit about. Here's what you need to know about Western Michigan. Western Michigan. Of course, they're in the MAC, Mid-American Conference, and last year they were the number one team in the MAC. They went 10-4 and 7-1 in the conference. Finished one game in front of the Ohio Bobcats and the Toledo Rockets and the Miami Redhawks. 2 games in front of those aforementioned Central Michigan Chippewas. 3 games in front of Joe Moorhead's Akron Zips, who went 4-4 in the conference last year. I bet y'all didn't know that. Well, you would know if you'd paid attention earlier because we had them on the countdown. So Western Michigan won the MAC last year. And let's take a look at how they did it. And we'll get to their schedule this year is pretty interesting too. Last season. Now think about this now. You ready? A team that went 9-4 in the regular season. 9-4 in the regular season. Started the season 0-3. They got whipped at Michigan State in the season opener 23-6. Week 2, they lost to North Texas in overtime 33-30, and then got embarrassed at Illinois in week 3 38-0. So they're 0-3 and just lost 38-0. They won 4 in a row. Beat Toledo, Rhode Island, UMass, and Ball State. Then they lost at Miami of Ohio in the conference. Kind of an upset. Then they won another 5 in a row to finish the year. Beat Central Michigan, close game by 3. Ohio, close game by 4. Northern Illinois killed them. Eastern Michigan by 10. And beat Miami in the rematch against Miami in the conference championship game by 10, the team they had lost to earlier in the year. Went to a bowl game in Myrtle Beach, played Kennesaw State, who had a great year at their level, but really not up to par for the big boys. And Western Michigan beat them 41-6 in a bowl game. That was their 10th win of the year after winning the MAC conference championship game. Had a heck of a year last year in Bronco country. The head coach at Western Michigan is Lance Taylor. Looking here at the staff, I don't, off the top of my head, recognize any of the other names on the staff. Now, here's what I do recognize. I looked this up. This has something to do with a text message that I sent Beaver yesterday. Western Michigan University notable alums. You ready? Famous alums from the university, from Western Michigan University, WMU. The first name that pops up here is none other than actor and comedian Tim Allen. Tim Allen, Home Improvement, Santa Claus movies, all that stuff. Well, I sent Beaver something yesterday that I saw on the social medias from Darren Rovell. A list of the highest earning celebrities in 1998. Highest earning celebrities 1998. At number 7 was Michael Jordan. Earned $69 million in 1998. At number 7. You know who was one spot in front of him at number 6? Tim Allen from Home Improvement, $77 million back in 1998. By the way, 1 and 2 in 98, Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David over $200 million apiece. Lester, thanks for your text on the Country Pleasing text line. You said nothing better than these fight songs. Got Rudy vibes. I'm telling you, right? This time of year, you're hungry for some football. We fire up these fight songs. I get fired up. Thanks, Lester. Appreciate your text and everybody else on the text line. Comments on the live stream. Teddy, appreciate the phone call earlier. For Beaver, I'm Matt. All of us here on the show in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. We'll do it again tomorrow, same time, same place. See you then. See ya.